Okay, everybody out there, welcome back to the ITC podcast.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry, I was just scrolling on Facebook.
She's scrolling.
Well, I just saw somebody had a baby. You know, that gets me.
That
Dogs don't get me, but babies get me.
Yeah. Dogs are not your thing.
I saw when one of our friends' dogs passed away this weekend.
That was sad.
And that's sad. I don't like that
No,
at all.
I don't like loss. I don't like people losing things they care about, people or pets or
I don't
things
care
they
if
care
you're
about.
connected to a fish, and a fish dies and you're sad. I care. I get it. Like, I understand. I just, you know what I mean? Because even our dogs, that affected me when they passed away, even though I don't, I'm not the goo goo gaga dog lover. But anyway, so I saw this girl had a baby that I know, and she's so cute.
That's great.
So I was just saying congratulations. Is that okay? And then we can start.
I guess
Okay,
we can.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do my Facebook birthday run real quick while we're starting out the podcast to get this thing going.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, what's up?
We're going to continue our list of habits of couples that last.
Great.
Habits of couples that last.
Go ahead. We're continuing, right?
We're continuing. We were on 6 when we cut it off.
Okay.
We're going to move on to number 7
Okay.
in the lineup. We're going to see where we can go with this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jump right in.
Yeah, go ahead. I say just pick up where we left off. Yo.
A habit. This is a habit that couples that last have. Number 7. They stand together and refuse to let outsiders call the shots.
Okay, say that again.
They stand together and refuse to let outsiders call the shots.
Wonder what that means. Can you interpret that for me?
I think what it means is they don't let any division from the outside. Like they stand together.
I don't follow that one.
In situations where maybe they might not agree and there's a conflict. And you could be pulled to take sides with somebody outside of your relationship, and it might get weird.
I don't know if that's what that means.
I don't know. I'm going with what I think it means, and then you stand together. You don't let others call. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. You're just pulling at straws on that one.
Well, that's
I don't understand what that
do.
means. Stand together and don't let others call the shots.
Yeah, you refuse to let outsiders. Call the shots.
Stand together. I don't get that one.
Stand together and don't let outsiders call the shots.
I get standing together.
I guess, I don't know. Define your relationship, maybe. I don't know. It could be, I don't know. That one's a little bit.
I'm not impressed with that one.
Ambiguously.
I just don't. I'd have to really ponder on that one a little bit more.
Ponder.
Like I said, I get the standing together. If there's a situation where you need to stand together, a lot of times it's not outsiders, but maybe it's with your kids, right? You stand together and you don't let them.
Yes.
Because a lot of times with the kids will maybe not necessarily agree with I don't know if it's discipline at this point or the advice or, whatever, but, or a decision that we made with them and they try to break us down, right? They go to one parent and they go to another one. They try to but that doesn't make sense in this situation because it said outsiders.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We can move on to number 8.
Yeah, let's do. I don't like that one.
Dude, she doesn't like that one. They set aside time to regularly check in with each other.
That's good. I think that goes along with the other one from the other day, though.
I was going to say, it sounds very similar.
Yeah. But I guess you do need, spending time doesn't necessarily mean you're checking in because how many times a week do we sit here on this very couch and watch TV or do whatever we do, like we said the other day, but we don't really be like, no, we might be like, how's your day? Good. How's yours? Good. No, but really, how was it? Like, maybe that's checking in. Like,
right.
No, honestly, how are you really? Like, you seem fine, but like, how are you really? That's really checking in. Instead of the ambiguous, like, how's your day?
Right.
And then we ambiguously answer, it's good, or it was all right. It was busy. It was this, it was that. And then we're like, cool. And we start watching TV,
Yeah.
That's not necessarily checking in.
No, it's when you ask twice, right? Is that what you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't think you asked the same question. Like, how was your day?
With
Good.
inflection
How was your
in your
day?
voice.
Good. How was your day? That's not checking. That's not, no.
Was it really okay?
No, just, is there anything bothering you? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything on your mind? Are you okay? Like,
No, I agree.
as a
It's
person,
very,
like,
yes.
I don't do that to you very much. I don't check in like that very much. Sometimes I will. I'll say, something bothering you? You seem weird. You seem off. Your vibe
Right.
is, something's jumping off.
Yeah.
That's kind of checking in, but
Yeah, it's kind of checking in.
I don't know. I like it.
I think it's important.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's very important to check in and like be connected. It's
Yes.
part of being connected is to make sure that the person that you share life with, that they're okay. Just
Well-
not okay, but that they're actually getting stuff out.
Like, I mean, sometimes at the end of the day, though, it's maybe not the greatest time to check in because you're just tired and you may want to talk about something, but you're like, it's 8:30. I just want to chill. I don't want to get into it. So maybe you should check in. Maybe we should check in with each other at a different time of day. I don't know. I'm just saying. I know that's me. I could have something bothering me all day. I mean, nothing that's like huge deal, but something that would be nice to talk about. And if you would say anything bothering you, if it's late in the evening, I may not, unless it's something really major, I may just be like, sweep that under the rug. I don't feel like getting into it.
I agree.
And that's not good.
No, it's not, but it's pretty normal, I
You
think.
have a cat walking all over your head.
Yeah, and we don't have cats in the house.
Well, there's a cat in our house. So there is a cat here in our room. It's supposed to be in the basement with Brooke and Avery, and here she is.
this
But anyway.
is the problem.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Oh, hi.
Checking you out.
I like cats except for when their claws, like I'm a little afraid of their claws, you know what I'm saying? Anyway,
I think everybody could be better at it. I think it's hard to keep up with yourself, let alone somebody else.
that's the truth.
So that's let's see, what number was that? Number 8. Number 9. They know how to say sorry and mean it.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
I like that one.
That's a big one because you say sorry
Don't,
a lot,
yeah.
not mean it.
Yeah. That's true. Normally, if I say sorry, I mean it. And if I don't mean it, you're going to be able to hear it in my voice and you're going to realize that I'm being very sarcastic. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know when you're sorry and not. And I think you
Yeah.
know when I'm sorry and
Yeah.
not. I think we both know how to mean it
Oh, for sure.
and not mean it.
I can read you like a book. I know when you're really sorry and when you're not, or when you're just saying it because you just don't want to argue about it anymore.
Right.
You say it a certain way. You have a look on your face. You have a smirk.
A smirk?
Oh, you have a bad smirk sometimes.
Sorry. Kind of like that.
I mean, you do.
Yeah.
You get this smirk about you, like it's this condescending look of like, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sorry.
No, I can tell. And I can tell in the inflection in your voice too if you're sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually I'm pretty sorry, though,
Well, yeah.
if I say I'm sorry.
I used to say
Stop
sorry.
doing that.
I'm sorry. I'm yawning. I'm so tired. Today has not been the best day of my life, but I mean, nothing horrible, but still not a great day. But I used to say sorry too much, I feel like. And that's not a good thing either. Right?
Yeah, and I think I've tried to like clean that up myself, not in the way you're talking about, but I think with this we both are similar in the way we want to be nice people.
Most days, yes.
No, it's just built into our like default, like we're nice people.
Right.
So it's like that's one thing in this book I'm reading that's really good, and it's like tapped into the psychology of being like bred to be nice, and it creates so much anxiety,
It does.
so
really.
much stress to be nice. Like not to be nice, in that like it explains in the book. That doesn't mean you're not nice. It's just that we've been programmed that we think that this is the way that you are really a good or nice person. Like when somebody doesn't hold the door open for you and says, that's not a good example. Just like saying you're sorry for things that you're not, there's no reason to say you're sorry.
Right.
Like I do that all the time.
Yeah, you
Sorry, excuse me, sorry. Like
do. You do that all the time. You apologize when like in the grocery store. And I'm like, you have just as much right to be going this way
that's
as
what
they
I'm
do.
saying though. That's what I'm saying that I'm trying to program
Instead
out
of
of
saying,
me.
excuse me, you know what I mean? Like, that's something different.
Right. Or F you. Get out of my way.
You aren't aggressive enough in the grocery store.
I'm
When it's
aggressive
crowded,
on the
no.
road.
When it's, I know, and I tell you all the time, I wish you would push a cart like you drive a car. Like in the grocery store, when it's crowded, the other day in Kroger, I thought I was going to lose my mind. You're like, you like stutter step. Like you're like, you don't like,
That's how
just
I am
go.
That's how I'm when you're driving.
Huh?
That's how I'm when you're driving.
When I'm driving?
Yeah.
I drive just as aggressive as you do.
Eh.
Yes, I do. What?
I just am a control freak when it comes to driving.
No, I would prefer you drive. I'm talking about when you're in the grocery store. If you would push a cart like you drive a car, we could get in and out of there a lot faster instead of like you just stand behind people and like wait for people. No, I'm going. And if I'm in your way, I'm sorry. I mean I'm on a thing. But if somebody gets in my way, like being aggressive like that, I get less frustrated with that than I do with people who are like, oh, let me move. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, like that. Like just move. Like right?
Right.
But if somebody's
that
coming
what you're saying I'm
aggressive
like?
with a cart and I'm like, wow, she's coming aggressive and I scoot it. I appreciate that.
Right.
I appreciate that. You're just getting your crap done. You're just getting in, you're getting out. And and then there's people that park their cart in the middle of the aisle. I moved a lady's cart the other day. I touched it. And I don't know if that is something you're not supposed to do. I don't know if there is like some sort of etiquette.
For carts.
I moved. Now her purse was, I did a purse check because I didn't want her to think that if her purse is in the front, I wouldn't want her to think that I was going after her purse, right? There was no purse in sight, not in the cart at all. I did check that first. I took it. I scooted it. She saw it. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, that's all right. And I just kept going. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, it's fine. Just move out of my way. There's groceries to be gotten. Nobody wants to be at the grocery store ever. So I feel like you need to work on your aggression in the grocery store. I'm not going to want to go with him the next time we go to the grocery store.
Oh, I got it now.
You're going to be a big
I'm
old battle.
good.
I'm not saying
You know what's
going to
happen to you? What happened to that girl I worked with years ago that at the West Side Kroger? She moved a lady's cart and got put in the hospital.
Oh, like
that
seriously,
lady beat her half to
why?
death.
Come on, people, get a grip. If somebody moves my cart, I'm going to apologize for leaving it where they needed to move it.
I'm just saying that lady.
Now, if my kid or my
kicked
purse
out.
was in there, I might react a little differently because I don't know if you're going after my kid or my purse, which my kids shouldn't be in the carts. They're grown.
If they are, it's going to be
but
really
if it's
creepy.
Carter
It's going to be
or something,
super weird.
if it's my granddaughter or my purse. But whatever. This is way off tangent, and I'm sorry. But where was I going with this? Where did we get off on being aggressive in the grocery store?
We just went down a rabbit hole.
No, but what was the point? What was the point?
The point was to stop saying you're freaking sorry.
Oh, that's right. Like you do in the grocery
everything.
store. Sorry.
Yeah, I do that
I'm
about
sorry.
certain things.
And then you run out of people's way. Like you do this little jog. Like, ooh, I got in your way. Ooh, and you jog. Why?
I don't know. I'm getting better.
Because because he's so different in the car. In the car, you would think that he owned the entire road, and like if you're not going, oh, did you see the cat? Sorry, y'all. The cat just got into a strange place. Cats are weird. Anyway,
I do on their own.
You are so aggressive and so mean when you drive the car.
Mean?
You say things and you call people things you wouldn't normally.
It's true. It's very true.
Like I feel like you're losing parts of your life when you drive.
Could be.
Like years off your life because you're getting so stressed about it.
It's probably true. I need to calm down.
And heaven forbid somebody go straight in a turn lane. Or no.
Oh,
Sit in.
come
No, wait a minute. How
on.
does it go?
Why'd you even
You're going
say
straight,
that?
but you're in the turn lane.
My heart rate. Oh my
mean,
gosh.
Heaven forbid that.
Oh,
There's so
that
many
one
things.
lane over at Walmart where people are supposed to go right and they tie up a bunch of traffic.
Well, to be fair, they need to paint those
when they should be on
arrows.
the left side.
I understand
you
that.
freaking idiots. If you're out there and you're listening, you're an idiot. Learn how to freaking drive a car.
To be fair, they need to paint
It's not
those
fair.
arrows a little bit brighter, and maybe that wouldn't happen. That was gross. Sorry. Anyway,
What do idiots think the left lane's for?
what did the idiots leave their cart in the middle of the aisle while they look at the pickles for?
I have no idea. That's a good. You know what else gets on my nerves? I don't know. We're running off. We're running off. What else? The other thing that drives me a little crazy is when, and I didn't say I'm sorry because I'm trying to break that habit. I'm trying to be less nice. Cat's getting a little water.
Oh, no. Did she put her lips on my
I
cup?
don't think so.
All right.
But the freaking click at people.
Oh, man, they take up so much
Blocking
room.
stuff and not getting out of your way.
I'm with you on that.
You know what I mean? It's like
Those
you're
carts-
blocking the aisle. I need to get to the freaking. I need to
Yes.
get to the spices, bruh.
Those big old carts are huge.
They are big carts,
Huge.
and I just want to pick out a freaking burger spice, but I don't want to hurry. I like to look at spice like I look at barbecue sauce, and like to look at beer. I like to stand there. I like to observe. I might even want to read the label.
But do you move scoot it over against the aisle with you, right?
It's with me on my side of the
Right.
aisle, and if somebody comes up to look and I feel them, I move it out of the way and I say,
Yeah, I don't know what to do about the Click It list because it's a growing business and there's more and more Click It list big old carts going around when you're trying to shop. I don't know how to alleviate that other than just do the Click It list yourself. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to run in there. Like you can't do a Click It list. You just got to run in and get eggs and butter.
I got an idea. We're going to be billionaires.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I don't know if I'm telling on here. Somebody will steal it. Like Bezos. He'll be listening to this podcast.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
On his yacht. And he'll be like, dang it, that's a great idea.
That's true.
It's all in the construction of the building. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these freaking people. Okay? They're done. They're out. They got no jobs anymore.
The Click It list people?
Yeah, they're done.
Oh, wow.
They're out. What we're going to do is we're going to create a property that's fit to serve people that don't need to come into the building. You could still come in there, but we're going to build this probably a little bit bigger building because the aisles will need to be wider. Because, yes, you can access the aisles from the outside, but there's going to be an inside to the aisles. So there's going to be something that grabs from the shelf on the inside. Ooh. You can be like, they can be like from their computer at the Click It List lounge putting our order in, or it just automatically goes in, and then the robot goes up and down the aisles, pulls it, drops into bin 3, which is the Runyon bin.
Yeah.
Goes out, all the bin 3s come together, and the people, there'll still be people. They just won't be in the aisles anymore. They won't be in anybody's way.
We'll never
see
those
stupid carts.
We'll never see the carts.
No, it'll be an underground little freaking, there'll be a nice little underground thing where it shoots it over to the Click It List lounge. And in the Click It List lounge, they'll be over there. And it'll come up and it'll be like bin 3. There's like 4 bin 3s because they're different aisles. It's the Runyons. Put it in their thing, and then they roll it out to the car.
That's a good idea, but I also have an idea. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. I think you should work on that.
Thank you.
I think that you should get a big building, and it needs to be 2 stories. And the bottom, and then they are identical. They are symmetrical. They match equally. And the underground is for the Click It List people, and the above ground is for the people who come into the store and do not want to see the Click It List people or their big old carts. It's the same store. You don't really need to.
It's a lot of inventory.
No, you didn't. Let me finish. You take the same inventory, but you just cut it in half until you figure out if the Click It List gets that more or if the people get it more, and then you go 60-40, or you go this isn't a big Click It List item because it's a big lighter. People don't usually buy big lighters on their Click It List, so we'll leave the majority of that up. People buy a lot of people get off my water. People buy a lot of eggs on Click It List, and they buy a lot of eggs in person. So maybe we need a 50-50 that. You know what I'm saying?
It's very good.
I don't know. I think we have good ideas. I think yours might be a little bit more
pretty genius
up with the times as far as like 2023.
It's going to be complex.
Yeah,
it's a little complex, but I know that it can be figured out.
I think that if we have cars that can almost drive themselves, we could probably figure out the inside and outside aisle of the store, Click It List, and then people.
Right.
You know what else I hate about the store while we're on this topic? We did a whole podcast once on this way back when of pet peeves at the store. Yes. I don't remember if I said this or not.
I love this store.
But if I did, then it was way a long time ago. You don't remember. It drives me freaking sane at Kroger and at Walmart. But I noticed it more at Kroger. They put things in the aisles, like shelves. Not shelves.
Little
like
buggy things
displays
thing.
Yeah, and like there's not enough room as it is for 2 carts almost to pass each other, and you're gonna put a Keebler Elf display. I don't want that display there. Put the cookies on the shelf and move that cardboard display or that wire rack of Blue Diamond almonds. Like put them on the shelf, clear the whole freaking aisle. Clear. Put stuff on the shelves, Make sure 2.5 at least carts can get by, because people's kids walk on the side and then you knock them in there with the cart. That's not happened to me. I'm just saying. They're not wide enough as it is. And then you're going to put displays.
I agree.
And they do the same thing in the big center aisle, like of Walmart and Kroger. Build a bigger building so we can have room to move around. You know what I mean? Why are we not the people who you know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
God, we're so smart. I don't understand.
Literally, we could fix everybody's problems.
We could fix the whole grocery store industry problems.
We would change it for the better. Just come to us. We'll help you.
Yes.
You pay us, a lot of money plus a percentage of profits for like the next 100 years, and we will help you.
I will say whoever came up with the Click It list in theory is very ingenious. I love the Click It list, and I do use it weekly. But then there's also times I got to run in the store and get, a few things that I forgot or whatever. So anyway.
It's a good idea.
Great. So that all stemmed from saying you're sorry.
I'm sorry. Did I mess it up?
No.
I'm kidding.
The point.
I was just being facetious.
Lord. Yeah, you're failing at your
As a
goals.
joke. I'm not sorry. I didn't do anything to be sorry for.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Right.
It's a childhood thing.
Yeah, I get
it's a
that.
childhood thing. It's a religion thing. We're brought up a certain way it's a different time that we were brought up in.
I don't think mine was a religion. I think I just always thought like things were my fault.
Yeah,
I
they are.
mental
But
health
you don't have
issue.
to say you're sorry all the time just because everything's your fault.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I do. I walk around feeling like that. I walked around feeling like that all day today, and it's a horrible feeling to be in.
That is a horrible feeling.
And even the situations that happened today, there's nothing for me to say I'm sorry for. Well, except for one thing.
And
Naughty. Okay, next point.
Oh man, we really went off on a tangent.
Yeah, that's
there.
all right.
Let's
We
see
do
what
it.
the next point is. They don't make assumptions about their partner's feelings. They ask.
Ooh, that is good.
That's really. You can get a lot of trouble by assuming.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that.
And you think you think people think a certain way, or you think people are a certain way, or they feel a certain way about certain things, and you really don't know.
No, you don't know, because you could be okay. So, for instance, you and I fight about an issue or whatever, and it never really gets resolved. It's like something's bothering me, and it's just some fights you get into, there can't be a resolve. It's just something that's got to either go away or whatever. And say that's the night before, and then the next morning you get up and maybe you talk about it a little bit, and then you all go to work, and you come home from work, and the other person seems like nothing's really bothering them. Then they're laughing with the kids or doing this or that. You're assuming, she seems fine, cool, it's not an issue anymore.
For sure.
Just because I'm having fun with my kids and laughing, and I might be talking to you like normal, doesn't mean whatever it was that was bothering me that I wanted to talk to you about isn't still there, and I'm not still bothered by it, or I'm not still upset about it, and vice versa with you. Like, you can't. Just because somebody seems okay on the outside doesn't necessarily mean that they are. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what that's saying. Read that again. Read that one more time.
Are you okay? Is there something you need to talk about?
No, there's not. Oh, trust me, you would know.
They don't make assumptions about their partner's feelings. They ask.
Yeah. I mean, I think that could go so many different ways.
I just think. Yeah, I think that's true, but the more comfortable you get with people, you don't ask as much.
Yeah. And two, that could be like, I could assume you're mad at me or upset with me because you're acting a certain type of way, and I don't ask you. So then, you know what I mean?
May have nothing to do with you.
Right. I suffer a lot of that with work situations, not necessarily here. I feel like here, I'm trying to think of an example of when I've assumed you feel a certain way. Maybe it's like I assume that you'd be okay with something that you're not, or something, and
yeah,
I can't even think of an example. I can't even think of an example really for me, for you, other than sometimes I'm acting jovial, but I'm still upset inside, and you're like, but you seem so fine. You know what I mean? We've talked about that before,
right?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's definitely good. Making assumptions in general, regardless in life, I feel like is something everybody does, obviously. Well,
yeah, it's how we're
built.
But
it's really bad. It's really a bad thing.
It is really bad because
it ruined my whole day today because and I mean, I don't even know if my assumptions are true or not yet, or if what I'm thinking in my head is true or not yet. But I mean, it ruined my whole day.
You got in your head.
Yeah. So, yeah. Communication. That all goes back to communication. Just ask.
Just ask. Yeah.
Are you okay with this? Or, are you... Oh, I know a good example. To be respectful, one of our good friends asked me to... That's a male. He's friends with Jeff and I both. He asked me to go to lunch one day because it was my birthday. And I think he missed my birthday or missed telling me happy birthday. And he was like, hey, it was a work day. You want to go to lunch? I could have assumed Jeff would be fine with it because he's Jeff's friend too. We hang out all together.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. I would not even for a second think Jeff would have a problem with it. But I didn't assume that. I texted him. I was like, hey, so-and-so asked me to go to lunch. Are you okay with that if I just go to lunch? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to say yes. And if he didn't, then fine. I wouldn't have gone. But
right.
You
I mean,
can't
that's
just
a
assume...
respect level.
Yeah. I just don't want to assume...
Yeah,
you're going to be okay.
You never
with it.
check with a female. I mean, that's one thing. But a male, just like me, it's a respect thing.
Right. No, you don't check with a female for lunch, but you might check, like we talked about before, like, hey, so-and-so asked me to go play racquetball on Tuesday night. Are you good with that? Is there anything going on? Like, I can't just assume, he'll be fine with it. He's good. I'll just tell him when I'm walking out the door.
No. Yeah. It's like today I called you and told you, hey, I'm going to go have a few drinks with a buddy. And if you'd have said, whoa, I thought we were...
Right.
But again, neither of us ask.
No.
It's a check-in, like, of course, you want to be respectful and make sure the person... But, yeah, that's true. You definitely...
It's bad to assume anything.
You've got to know your relationship one, and you got to assume. And I think a lot of people get in trouble for that because it can cause a lot of fights if you shock somebody by saying, I went to lunch with this person today.
Oh, yeah, I went to lunch with so-and-so.
Wouldn't have been an issue for me, but I mean, in this situation. But
you might have been disappointed. Like, I mean, you could have at least, like, run it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean...
Right, I agree. Yeah.
So, anyway. All right. That's a good one.
Don't assume, people.
You know what assume means?
Make an ass out of you and me.
Yep.
You and me. 11. They keep dating and treat date night as a sacred ritual.
Oh.
Yes.
I like that. We go out a lot.
We do go out a lot.
Are they considered dates? I don't know. I'm not upset about it. I don't have a problem with it. I like going out with you and hanging out with our friends and hanging out. And sometimes we go out by ourselves, but
right.
What constitutes a date? You know what I mean?
I think that's the difficulty for us because I think most people, they have to force one night out.
Right. We go out a lot.
And we're tight. Like we want to be out. We want to hang out together.
Yeah. So I don't know what is the
that
premise.
Just hanging out, or do we have to do something super special for it to be a date?
Well, definitely our Friday nights aren't dates. We're hanging out with our friends. We're having fun. We're having drinks. We all go to dinner together. We, play some what's that we play? Shuffleboard. Or, we do something like that. And that's just hanging out with friends. I don't really consider that a date.
Right.
Same. And I also don't consider what we did tonight a date, which you just called me after you had drinks with your friend and said, hey, you want to go to dinner tonight instead of cooking because you had a sucky day. That's not really a date either. I was like in my yoga pants and a sweatshirt. Like, does a date mean you have to dress up and do something special, do something different? Like, I feel like a date is that. Like, maybe not necessarily dress up. That's not really what I'm talking about. But like doing something you don't normally do, like, or going places you don't normally go. Definitely a date is just the two of you together. Unless you're going on a double date. Then that would be 4 people. Right. But like, what is a date? I don't even know at this point in our life.
I'm more with you on a date. I think a date is, but that then it's like right. Now we got to.
But then we're just hanging out. So it's I'm fine with what we do. I don't know if
I'm not against a date night. I'm just saying now I'm like I got to think about it, which sounds terrible.
It's not terrible.
Of course you have to think about it. But it's like, what do I need to do? What do we need to do to make sure it qualifies as a date night?
I mean, I think sometimes
do we need to get in a tux? Do we need to go to a different restaurant? Like just the two of us, something special?
I think it's relative depending on the stage of your relationship. At the beginning, I think you go on a lot of dates because you don't live together. You might not live together. Well, at the beginning, you probably don't live together. So you're like, do you want to go on a date tonight? Which is usually probably dinner, movie, a show, bowling, whatever. But then after you get married and you have kids and you have grandkids, you've been together 30 years. We don't even know what a date freaking is. Like, we just go out.
Yeah.
So, If you said you want to take me on a date, I want to take you on a date. What do you want to do? I probably would want to get dressed up. I never get dressed up and go somewhere nice to eat. But at the same time, I don't really want to do that. At the same time, I would like to go out and do something that we don't ever do, like go bowling. Maybe that would be a date. What's this cat doing?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Can you send Brooke $10 for sushi at Kroger's, please?
Good Lord
She's at
almighty.
Kroger right now. So this is where I would love to have somebody else talking right now with us that either is single or maybe in the beginning of a relationship or something to give us some more insight on this, because I just feel like a date is so vague when you're this part of our relationship, because we do things all the time. We take trips. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? We go hiking in the summer. But that to some people be like, oh, that would be such a fun date going hiking. But I don't consider when we go hiking a date necessarily. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Am I making sense at all?
You're making sense. Maybe that's what it was at the beginning. It was like a date, but maybe after you do it for so long.
That's my point.
Right.
Like, you know, when you're this far in our relationship, do we ever really go on a date?
Then it became a habit or something we love to do together, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. This would be a good one to put a little asterisk by, to talk to, like,
To do a side
to have like a
podcast with?
Yeah, like I would love to talk to somebody who not necessarily is single, but could be single, but somebody, you know, that could give some more insight on it. But anyway, I like that one. I mean, I think we do a very good job of going out and hanging out together and doing things, and we travel a lot together. I mean, we don't travel anywhere extravagant, but you know, we take little weekend trips frequently.
Yeah, we get out of town together.
And that's important.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And maybe when we do that, I feel like we're more on a date.
I feel like it's more of a date because we do more. It's almost like we have to get away to go on a real date.
Yeah. Like
Because we'll go to the comedy club and we'll do that. And it's like a
Yeah,
whole night
it's a
of
whole-
like
yeah.
us just doing different things.
I think we connect differently when we're out of town because
For
there's not
sure.
distractions
Yeah.
of friends, or which our friends are great, good distractions. Kids, of course, great distractions, but nonetheless, a distraction from when we're out. Like we focus on, you know, other things, and then when we're home, we focus on them. So getting out of town is very important. So I think that I would even put that as one on the list, and maybe it's coming up is travel together. Like we used to go and we still kind of do once every 3 months. We take a weekend trip.
Exactly.
So anyway,
It's very important.
yeah.
Let me see how many more of these we have left.
You can have a home date too, I feel like.
We used to. I mean, that was
Yeah.
fun. We used to cook. Remember that?
We would cook.
back
Well,
in the
and
day?
yeah, and remember on Friday nights we would have Friday for the longest time. Why do you keep looking at the thing?
I'm looking at the time. We're at 32 minutes. I didn't know if we wanted to stop
Do you-
it
do you
after this point.
It doesn't matter. Do you remember back when we lived in Atlanta and I worked and I had to go to Midtown to work, and then for some reason Friday nights for the longest time was 80s movies night.
Oh, yeah, that was
Remember?
fun.
And every Friday
Yeah.
night we would watch an 80s movie, and Jeff would have like all the candies and snacks that, you know, we like, and we would just eat like we would almost like we were at the movie, but we
Yeah.
were at our house because we had
Right.
little kids and we didn't want to pay for like a babysitter. So you had a home date. You put the kids to bed and you watched a movie, you had popcorn, you had like, you know, candy and stuff like that.
It was fun.
And you can do corny little things. Like I love to color. Like, you know, if I came home and there was wine and cheese and a charcuterie board and coloring books and crayons, and, you know, you're like, we're just going to have music. That's kind of like a little date, kind of. Because you're setting up something. You're going out of your way a little bit. It's something different. It's something special.
Yeah.
Not that when we go out, it's not special, but you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I agree.
Sorry. I can't stop running my mouth. It's a problem
No, it's
I have.
good. It works. It works well.
Okay.
It's good for podcasting.
Great.
It's good to talk.
Yes. Is there, how many more's on this list?
Um,
Or just pick out a few and we'll end it.
let's see here.
Scroll down. Just cheat and scroll down through there.
When they argue, their goal is to come to a consensus, not to win.
We've already done that kind of. We've already talked about that earlier about
Yeah,
fighting.
if it's about winning, then you're going to have a lot of problems.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody
if
wants
it's just
to win.
say, I won. I win. I
I
get
never
my
look
way.
at our fights like that.
I
I feel
never
like.
look
I
at it
mean,
as a
I don't look at
win-loss.
it as a win, but sometimes I do want to be right, and I guess that is kind of like a win.
It is kind of a win, but
And-
usually it's clearly someone's right and someone's wrong.
I
That's
know, but
in a
don't.
real
Let's talk
fight,
about this
in a
for
real
second.
fight,
Let's talk about this
not
for
a
a second.
silly
though.
fight.
It's not necessarily win, but we get into a lot of fights, and sometimes
We don't get into a lot of fights.
we don't. Did I say we get into? Did I just say that?
Yeah.
Did I say
You
that?
said we get into a lot of fights.
I think I paused in an inappropriate place. What I meant to say is we get into a lot of fights where you want to, where you know you're wrong. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty of this too, but I think you do this a lot. You try to skew it to make it where I'm wrong, but I'm not because of this. So that is kind of, and that's a natural thing that people do, I feel like.
Yeah, especially if you're
so that's
fighting.
kind of
if
like
you're fighting, you're definitely gonna do that.
true. But that's kind of like wanting to win, right?
Sure.
So I mean, yes, being right and winning is, I think, the same thing.
Pretty, yeah.
I mean,
and,
but
I don't think the ultimate goal of our fights is to be right.
Not all of them. Some of them, yes. Some of them I get real petty.
Yeah, but
I can get
even
real petty.
in the very end, it's not about being right.
Sometimes it is. We can get into some really petty fights. Nothing that's like deep in a relationship fight. Like it could be something petty, like
just stupid fights.
Just like this wasn't a fight tonight in the car. It was a bicker. Jeff tried to tell me it's normal to be 78 degrees in March in Charleston, West Virginia, which he's insanely wrong.
It's normal.
You did too. You said it was normal. You said it's normal. I mean, one day, because I said, why was yesterday 78 and today is like 48? That's crazy. That's insane. That's pretty normal for March. No, it's not. Normal for March is like, oh, it's 50 today. Oh, it's 40 tomorrow. Oh, then it's 30. Oh, then it's 50. Oh, we got a 60 day. Very rarely is it 78. Oh, it was almost 80 degrees yesterday.
It was very nice.
And but then he backtracks when I prove him wrong because I Googled it. Not that Google's everything.
No, you went to an average.
I said an average.
And what's an average?
Right. It's an average of highs and lows. It is in between. But it is not normal to be 78 degrees in March in where we live. I think people who live here will agree. Yes, it has been before. Yes, it's happened. But most Marches are bitter. Like most of them, we can get some bad snows.
Yeah, we have had some bad little flurries in March.
But I just feel like that's my point. This is my point of what I'm trying to say. Like, I Googled it because I really
fights,
needed to be.
Those
are just though. No, that's what I said. It wasn't really a fight. It was just a little bicker. It wasn't just a little disagreement.
Yeah.
I just had to point out that it's an example of me being petty. I have to point it out. Like,
right.
Oh, he did not just go there because I know he's crazy, and I had to Google it. I had to point it out, and I wasn't going to be comfortable until you're like, yeah, you're right. That's a win. So yeah, sometimes I do want to win.
Well, those aren't real fights to me though. Those aren't.
No, there's not relationship like.
Right.
Oh, this is affecting
those
our whole
are just
relationship.
Being
fight.
Stupid,
like,
goofy fights.
Yeah. I have too many cords wrapped around me right now. Jeff's trying to tie me up.
I'm trying to tie.
I'm trying to figure out where that little sneaky cat went. Anyway.
Who knows?
But yeah, I think a lot of people, fall victim of, well, it's just easier if I just let him win this fight because.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Or her,
men,
or whatever.
Men do the same thing.
Oh yeah, or her.
Like,
I didn't mean it like that.
Hear about this.
Yeah, just might as well just let her win. And that's not good. You should feel like you should be able to feel like you have your say in a fight. Anyway, let's come in. She's pacing.
I agree. Yeah, we're gonna have to let her out of here.
Was there another good one before we go?
Let me see here. They say what they mean and mean what they say to each other.
Yeah, I like that.
That's huge. Yeah, you can't be fake to your spouse.
Like, don't tell me you forgive me if you don't. That's my biggest thing. Because then you can tell when you haven't forgiven me because you have a chip on your shoulder or you're acting a certain type of way. Yes, say what you mean. Oh my gosh. Actually, the more I say that out loud, the more yes is big for me. Like, don't say you want to go bowling and then we get there. I'm not saying this happened. I'm just giving an example. We get there and then you act a certain type of way because you don't really want to be there. Then just say, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Or if you don't want to go out at a night, just say I don't want to go. I'd much rather you say that than go out and act poopy.
I think we're pretty good about that.
Pretty good, yeah.
I don't know if us acting poopy.
No. I'm giving examples. I'm trying to think of, like, without getting deep into our relationship issues. Not that we have a whole lot, but, everybody has.
Everybody does, yeah. Yeah, there's certain
say what you
things.
mean what you say. I'm not going to get into it here, but I'm just saying it's important.
It is important.
Because if you don't do that, then you start to, like, But I'm like, I don't know if that's what he says is true. Like, are you really okay? Or are you know what I mean?
Right.
Or even with, vice versa with the girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still coughing.
You are. You got a cough. You need some lozenges or whatever they're called. Lozenges.
Cough drops? We here, present day, 2023, we
Lozenges.
call them usually cough drops.
Yes, you people, you peasants.
What is the difference between a cough drop and a lozenge?
A lozenge works. Cough drop.
I
It's
thought a
fake
lozenge
news.
was something that coats your throat, like for a sore throat to numb it. And a cough drop just doesn't do that. It just helps your cough.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
For-
Sorry, say what you mean what you say. That's good
Say
to
what
teach
you
your kids
mean,
too. That's good to
what
teach
you
our
say.
kids. And parents should model it as well,
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway.
I think it's key to communication and relationships. Cat, get out of here.
We have a cat mascot tonight. Her name is Chanel.
Very annoying.
She is. Anyway, well, those are good ones. I like that. Anyone we need to touch on, though, like that you're like, ooh, we got to talk about this one real quick. Nope,
No,
we're good.
I think we touched on all the ones
Awesome.
we need to talk
I
about.
think it was a good list overall.
Yeah, that was fun.
We had one we weren't so keen on, I suppose, but
Yeah, but most of them I would agree with.
yeah.
I think they're key, but
I think cats are magnificent to watch. They can really jump up there.
oh yeah.
And so like they jump high and they land like so quiet. If you jumped up on that table right now, it would have been like, boom. She jumped up and she was just so delicate.
They're cats.
They're very elegant.
Good balance.
Right?
They're great for like when
She-
you have to throw them down the stairs.
She what's in that box? Go ahead, Chanel. Get up in that box.
She,
ahead.
she knows it'll fall if she gets in it.
They're smart. Now watch how, like, just very gentle.
Super easy.
Anyway, that was fun.
We'll do a whole podcast on watching a cat next time. All right. Well, I
Cat
think
play
that's
by play.
cat play by play. Cat ASMR. Purr. All right, that's our cue. We're out of here. No more ASMR.